Okay, don't know how hard it is to see, but what this is a bush I'm trying to remove in my backyard. I'm coming underneath it. This is the bush. It's still somewhat green. It's got a lot of dead in it, and it goes from here clear over to here. It was about a 5-foot tall bush. First thing I did was shear it all off because I'm removing it. I need to plant some lawn in here. When you saw me cutting beds before, some of it was good grass, so I threw it over here, trying to keep it wet so it stays green for a minute. I'm going to take this bush out, throw some dirt in here, level it off, throw that grass on top. When I cut them beds, I start segregating all the dirt I'm taking out. I'll collect the rocks in a pile somewhere. Sounds like a lot of work. Take the grassy parts that I'm cutting. This is what I cut out of some of them flower beds I was cutting. Some of it was weeds. I went through some of these flower beds I'm cutting and it was all weeds. I took those weeds where I'm building hills, threw them at the bottom of those hills. A lot of people spray and kill everything first with sprays and then go dig it and throw the dirt over there. I'd throw it. It's going to be 5 feet under a hill. Them weeds are not going to do anything, but if I plant a tree, years later they'll go down and grab the nutrients from them composted weeds. It's not going to hurt. So I segregate the stuff. I've got the grass back here. I'm going to take this bush here out. This is a video on taking these bushes out. I already kind of got a little bit of a start. What I'm doing is digging under the bush. I come from the outside out here right next to the bush and start digging under it. The top fluffs out on the bush and the roots are going to do the same, but there's going to be a neck in here around ground level. And be able to pull this out, I need to get down to that neck. I got to dig all the way around this to pull this out. Anybody who thinks homesteading's easy work, you can't be sitting in a chair expecting somebody else to do it. This is homesteading. I'm going to have an airplane to compete with, it looks like. So I'm trying to make this video short. I'm removing this whole big stump. Not an easy task. Very first thing to do is to cut around it. Cut a trench completely around it and then get the shovel and start coming under it and just removing little bits of soil. I'm basically just trying to dig under it and around it. What I'm going to find is when I get down here far enough, I'm going to run into roots, which is going to make this difficult to pull out. But I am getting completely underneath it, getting everything underneath it. Once I get to that, I got two options to get this out. Once I've completely dug even the backside and got this whole thing dug around here to take out. Two options at that point. One, I can grab a chain and wrap it around the neck down there that I've got nicely dug out and just hook the truck up to it and pull it out. You have to be careful if you're doing junipers next to a sidewalk or something. You'll tear up a sidewalk trying to do that. You gotta be careful. What we're interested in, basically the roots that are coming underneath this and getting underneath it all the way around so that we can easily just take it, start pulling it out. Some of it's green, it's not going to be this easy as that piece. But the important part that we're learning here is to come completely underneath it. Like I said, at this point there's two ways to take it out. One is once I'm all the way around it, if I get a little bit of root, I'll come under it with an axe like that, start taking them roots out, cut it off ground level, pull it out that way. It's a big project. It'll probably take me a quarter of my day to get this out, half my day to get it all the grass put back in and everything. But the bush is coming out, it's next to this fence. I get my trailer in and out of here, that's going. As I said before, when you're doing this work, if you like the bush, nothing keeping you from putting some of them root pieces in a pot, keeping it wet, growing 2 or 3 plants out of this and planting them somewhere else. No problem with moving a plant. This one, however, is coming out. It's old, it's not doing well. I don't want it there. And there's lots of these bushes everywhere in the neighborhood, so this one's just going to come out. And that's the video on this one. It's basically removing a stump, tree stump or a bush. You want to come around even on the back side back here. start digging down. Okay, we're gonna go all the way around it. Dig it all the way around. And it'll start becoming more flimsy, more easy as I work on it. Pieces will come out and we'll get it out of there so that we can put some nice lawn in here. It's the end of this video. It's removing a stump or a bush. One more note, if this is a juniper bush, you got to be careful if you go pulling these out with chains. There's a sidewalk right here on the edge. You'll find with a juniper bush, it'll have a nice deep root running underneath that sidewalk all the way back towards the camera. If I go yank a chain around that and go to pull it out, that root, the juniper roots are really tough. They're not anything to be reckoned with. They'll tear up houses, sidewalks, foundations, you name it. So what I'll do is I'll get this dug all the way out and down, and I'll find that root that's coming under there, and I'll cut it with an axe. You gotta be, with junipers, you have this one, it's okay. The root ball will look like the tops on trees, on anything. We're generalized. So this bush normally comes out and up. Well, the roots, we're gonna carve in towards here, and then they're gonna go down and back out again. We're coming under it like this, getting rid of whatever we can out of the way. Once we get totally under it, it should come out easy, but the hard part is all the way, don't stop here and start trying to take it out. You gotta dig this channel all the way around it, and on all sides you gotta be coming underneath it, removing the dirt. So we got a nice neck there. A lot of it will be fragile at that point. You can just pry it out. Sometimes it takes a little bit more work, axe, shovel, whatever. This one I don't think will be too bad, little work. And we're removing a stump today in the backyard, and this is how you do it. You just start digging a trench around the whole thing, about a foot out, start about a foot away from it, and then as you're digging, start coming underneath it from all the outsides. Get down in there all the way around. We'll have a weak point, it'll start coming out. And that's removing the bush.